Hi everyone, Kevin the Geeky Gamer here. Now today I wanted to talk about Gears of War 4. I have not played the story, and I have not played the versus and multiplayer part of it. I have only played the Horde mode, so I just want to talk about the Horde mode version of Gears of War 4, and maybe try to compare it to Halo 5's Firefight that they added later on into the game. But for now, let's just talk about Gears of War 4. Alright, what are the changes and what's new to Gears of War 4? Horde mode. For Horde mode, they changed it to a class-based system. So now you have 5 classes. You have soldier, you have the scouts, you got snipers, heavy, and you have the engineer. And each one is different in their own way. Scouts lets you gain power. What power is in this game is that every time an enemy dies, no matter who kills it, one of your team members or you pick up these powers. It's like little beacons of light that they drop. And the bigger, the badder the enemy, the more light they drop. And you pick up these powers and take it back to your fabrication tool set. Now your fabrication tool set is this box. Think of it kind of like a chest. And through this box, you can build your traps, your turrets, all that stuff that came from Gears of War 3 Horde mode. There is no longer a mech like how there was in Gears of War 3. But now you can build traps, decoys, put up turrets. And I think also repair the turrets and the traps and decoys using a repair tool. And anyways, scouts are able to tag multiple enemies, so you know what there are in all times of the location. Like the scout, you can only tag one enemy at a time, but the scout can tag all of them. So then you will be able to see where all of them are at. Sniper's a sniper. Heavy, they specialize in heavy weapon ammo, so they're the ones with the boom shots, the razorback, all those heavy weapons. They do more damage with them. And the engineer, they get the free repair tool. So they already come with the repair tool. They can repair barricades and all those other equipments. And also they can build those same type of equipments from the fabrication set at a cheaper cost. And so yeah, that was it. And this Horde mode is still a 50 wave based game. So you start from wave 1 all the way to 50. And at every 10 waves, so at 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, you get a boss battle. And the bosses in this game, they have added some old bosses like the Brumax, but they added some new bosses like the flying helicopter thing, and I think the Scamper something. It's like a big monster that comes out in Gears of War 4 that eats one of your party members and then walks away. What I like about this new Horde mode is that it is up to 5 players. No, is it 5? Yeah, it is 5 up to players. But I think it was originally up to 5 players. I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember where Gears of War 3 was, but that's a long time ago. That was like 5 years ago. Anyways, the point is, it's 5 players. You can still set up barricades. The fabrication tool set up, able to move it around. That's a big plus. Because before, you would have to kind of like bunker down in this one area and save enough points for yourself. But now it's more team and tactical. So everyone tries to be a different class because it helps out the overall balance of the game. You want someone sniping, you want someone scouting, you want someone that has the heavy weapons and do more damage with those heavy weapons when the boss comes. You want someone picking up the power. The power is what the enemies drop, like I said. Once you pick up those powers, you could take them to the fabrication. It's like a little lightning bolt, but it's called power or energy or something like that. And you take it back to fabrication, and that's how you buy the money to make those fortifications. Now, Horde mode, it's still fun. It's still awesome. I love this new design of the new DBs or whatever they're called, the new robots, the new robot type of enemies. They're great. You still have the Locust in there. They added some new enemies like the Jumper or he's called the Jumper. He's like a 4-legged monster. You saw him in the beginning of the first Gears of War teaser back in E3 of 2014. The Gears of War teaser for Xbox One is like a jumping creature that comes on at night. Like I said, I haven't played the story, so I really don't know the names of these creatures yet. But as you play from waves 1 through 50, it increases in difficulty. They gain more health. They gain more accuracy. It is fun. It is fun, but I feel like it relies too heavily on having a well-coordinated team to go past, let's say, wave 20. Because on public matches, you can go up from wave 1 to 10, fine. Sometimes some people will drop after wave 10, which I think is stupid because, come on, it's almost 50 waves. Why are you just dropping out so early? I can understand some people are just trying to jump in, jump out, right? But so I've played up to matches up to wave 20, but I have yet to play a match where people haven't dropped out by then. Once you pass wave 20, a lot of people start dropping out. So I have not yet experienced wave 50 or any of those later waves because I feel up to a certain point, it starts to get a lot harder. the enemies start becoming more accurate, you need to be in way more communication. I mean, you can talk to your teammates through team chat, but I don't know, everyone has their mics off, so it makes it a lot harder. Now, the reason I want to compare this to Firefight is because Halo 5 added Firefight later on. Firefight did have its problems in the beginning, but overall Firefight feels like a good addition, plus it's fast. That's the only thing I don't like about Gears of War 4, the Horde mode, is that if you're going to play public matches, maybe make it up to 30. Don't make it up all the way to 50. Maybe you can save 50 from when you're playing with your actual friends, and you guys can tackle that challenge all the way through. Because I think you die too much in Gears of War 4 Horde mode to justify people who, join your random public games to stay with you and keep trying and keep going and keep dying, and if you're not able to talk to them, how are you going to develop a strategy? In Halo Wars 5 Firefight, you don't really need to specifically be in contact with your team if everyone knows what they're doing. Kill all the enemies. Once you're up to a certain power level in Halo 5, start building your requisitions, and your requisitions can be anywhere from tanks to Wraiths to Banshees to Mantises, Phaedon warships, Banshees. You have a assortment of weapons as you progress through the rounds. And Firefight, honestly, I think each round is about 4 or 5 minutes. How much is each round? It's like 5 minutes, right, for each round?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have 5 rounds and then a 30-second intermission. So in total, there's 5 rounds, 5 minutes each. It's going to take you 25 minutes to do one session of Firefight all the way through with, taking on the Prometheans, taking out the boss. What's the name of the boss again? Sentinel Prime? No, wait, hold. No, that's Transformers.
You mean the
Anyways, when you take out the bosses in Firefight for Halo 5, it requires everyone's coordination. Some people can be on the ground distracting his point of view. That way he turns around, you can shoot him in the back. But you're going to need a huge assortment of weapons. You're going to need Wraiths, you're going to need tanks. Sometimes you need Banshees, or you just need a really good amounts of power weapons like Spartan lasers and rocket launchers and stuff like that. But otherwise, it's very doable, and it feels good every session once you beat it. Gears of War 4 Horde mode, I just don't feel like it's a good public game because no one's willing to put in the time or investment to really sink its teeth into it, and you need a group of friends. And if you don't have friends, you're pretty much shit out of luck, and you have to either play public games or just play by yourself. Putting it on casual or something, maybe you can reach up to level 50. But even then, I heard that even reaching level 50 in casual is actually pretty hard. Now, the other thing I like about Gears of War 4 Horde mode is that now you get class cards similar to the requisitions in Halo 5. In Gears of War 4, these class cards, they add perks and abilities to your class. So let's say you're the heavy. Right now, I'm trying to level up my heavy. They each have levels now too. And once you reach certain levels, you can add more cards to your class, if that makes sense. You can add a total of 5 cards to your class. You unlock the first one level 3, you unlock the next one level 5, etc., etc., etc. So what are these class cards? These class cards could be anything from cheaper spending at the fabrication, 20% more damage from your weapons, faster reloading, things like that. Things that increase and power up your powers. But the problem is with these class cards that they're all tied to these operation boxes. Similar to Halo 5 where you buy requisitions through getting the points that you play through the matches, you buy requisitions. But the problem is these class cards are random and they have rarity to them too. So it can go anywhere from common to legendary to epic, whatever, right? But once you unlock them, they're there for you forever. So unlike Halo 5 where once you use the requisition, it's gone, in Gears of War Horde mode, you keep these class cards and keep them on your characters and keep them on each class that you leveled up. But at the same time, I feel like that's a detriment because let's say you've been playing for a long time, you already leveled up all these classes. Let's say you finally got a friend that will play with you, or you have friends that want to play with you, and they're going to start off at level 1, and they're not going to be as effective as you are because you've already put in the time, you've already gained so many abilities, you pretty much will walk through it, and they might not be able to, keep up. But everyone can do their part in Gears of War 4. I mean, it's always a fun Horde mode. You don't have to play it in higher difficulties. You can always keep it on casual, normal, hardcore, or insane. But definitely from what I heard, if you want to do hardcore and insane, you need to have your class leveled up and you need to have the best cards pretty much, or the best abilities equipped to your character. But all that is random. You don't pick the cards. You have to buy the boxes. Hopefully you get them, and if you don't get them, it does similar to what the Hearthstone system does. You can dust them or scrap them. That's what they call it in Gears of War. It turns into scrap, and once you've collected enough scrap, then you can equip it to your characters. Obviously, it ranges from anywhere from 100 scrap for something that's uncommon, all the way to 600 for something that's epic, and all the way to 1600 for something that's legendary. So, I mean, in that system, I kind of like it because, one, it's not like Halo, how once you use the card, it's gone. But at the same time, like, I feel like it's going to take a very, very long time to get these cards all the way up there. Because after every match, you get like 50 to 70 gold. I mean, I've only gotten into 50 to 70 gold because everyone drops out after wave 20. But in order to buy an operations pack, let's say just for Horde mode, because they have a pack where you could just if you just interested in Horde mode, they have a pack for you, and that's 400 credits. Now 70, you get on average 50 to 70 credits, so that's not too bad. But let's say you want to unlock cosmetic items like new skin for your chainsaw, new character skins, all this stuff, anything that's cosmetic, that's 3,500 points. And you're getting 50 to 70 points per Horde mode match that takes longer than 30 minutes. It is not fucking worth it. I don't think it is. So I don't know how. It's kind of like they're trying to shoehorn you to use actual money to buy for the cosmetic stuff. I understand that it's just cosmetic, it doesn't change the game. But I mean, I would like to get some of the cosmetic items so that way, I can use it in my Horde mode. That was the fun of doing that stuff in Gears of War 3. In Gears of War 3, you would unlock a lot of different cosmetic items by doing certain events or doing certain pre-order bonuses or beating certain campaigns in certain ways, unlocking certain achievements, getting to certain levels in Horde mode or versus. You will unlock a lot of stuff. Now all that stuff is pretty much behind the paywall. Like, you don't get any new fancy skins for your guns, new characters, all that stuff, unless you either pony up the money or play a shitload of versus and Horde mode to get enough credits to buy those stuff. I mean, that's the only thing that turns me off. But at the end of the day, is the Horde mode itself the actual mode of fighting, of having 5 people fight against, waves of enemy? That's still fucking fun. That's still way down. That's still way, like, the best way to go down that route. But if you're looking for something where you can really engage with the cosmetic items, better class abilities, it's going to take a long time to build up a good arsenal. I mean, and then you still have to level up one class. And you still have 5 more classes to go. Which I think is pretty cool because that does change the monotony. Because in Gears of War 3, I mean, there was no classes. It was just you. So you just, keep playing. There was no difference between anyone else. So by adding classes to this game and having them each separate and each having their own abilities, it does spice things up. So because if you get tired of leveling up your heavy class or you level them up, then you can start trying to level up your scout. And once you level that guy up, then you can start leveling up your sniper. Stuff like that, which I think is fun. And in Firefight, you don't get classes, and all you do are get requisitions. But through the requisitions, you do get cosmetic items. You get different Spartan armors, different visor colors, legendary crazy mantises that do like quadruple the damage. It is fun. It's just fun. But Firefight is definitely the better investment for when you come into public games. Because firefights, you can finish an entire firefight in less than 30 minutes. In Horde mode, you can spend up to 40 minutes on the same 2 waves that kept killing you. And then luckily if no one's dropped out by then you guys keep going until you beat level 25 wave or something. But eventually people drop, is the problem. Like, you cannot reliably get to 1 through 50 without a team of your own. So that's the only problem. So that was my impressions of Gears of War 4 Horde mode. I recommend Horde mode. It's really fun. I just don't think you're going to get much out of it when it comes to like getting rewards from it. I mean, you will get fun in extended play. You will get your money's worth because you have to level up each class and all that stuff. But if you're looking for something that constantly rewards you and gives you new stuff and stuff to play with, Halo 5 is both the faster and not easier game, but I just feel like it has an easier time of like, oh, you did very well. You bought a silver pack. Here's a scorpion. Here's a mantis for you to use in your next battle. Stuff like that. That's pretty fun using vehicles. But in Horde mode, you don't get vehicles and you just get class-based cards, which is fun. And it will extend the gameplay, but I just feel it doesn't have a satisfying reward loop. Halo 5 does have a satisfying reward loop when it comes to Firefight. But yeah, I still recommend it. It's still very fun. I would recommend getting 4 other friends and all of you tackle Horde mode because that will be way fun if you guys have all leveled up your classes, have a lot of cards, and you're able to set up a better strategy. That way it becomes balanced, and you guys can have fun and see if you can get all the way to wave 50. But yeah, let me know what you think, and geek out.
Warning.